That's awesome.
Right now. What's good?
I guess I better tell y'all welcome. What's up? We in here tonight, y'all. It's Conversations with the Goddess. I am Poet Ray Monet. We've got Nibor over there. We've got Nasha over here. We're going to have a really awesome night. Tonight, we're talking about being quarantined with a goddess because why the hell not? This COVID thing has got everybody shook. They are robbing the grocery stores left and right. I mean, they're not robbing them, but they are definitely emptying them by the aisle. And shit is going crazy everywhere. So we've got a lot of stuff that we've got to talk about tonight. But before we get into all of that great stuff, of course, we've got to just take a quick second and let you know who the hell's talking to you. So I guess I'll start since I'm already talking. Like I said, I'm Poet Ray Monet. I am an erotic author and poet. I deal with sex education, sex empowerment, all of that great stuff. And, normally on Conversations with the Goddess, we would be talking about something a little bit different, a little bit more in my wheelhouse. But don't worry, we're going to be talking about that quarantine sex a little bit later tonight, too. All right, let me pass it over to Nibor. She looks like she's ready to intro herself. What's up, girl?
Oh, I look that way? What? I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the whole quarantine sex thing. Cause boy, yeah. Yeah. Some of y'all need to let go of them. I'm mad at him. I'm mad at her. Well, you don't never hear that. I'm mad at her, so I ain't giving this girl no dick. But you know. But okay, we're not there yet. I am Nibor, Smiley You. I just, produce podcasts when I can, help people when I can, talk a lot of shit when I can. And that's me. Welcome to the show.
All right, Nasha.
Hey, I had to go do something with this hair. I'm Nasha, creator of Paper Dollhouses, and what I do is I help advocate a lot of people who have gone through a lot of things, specifically women, because they're the cradle of civilization. We make and we create life, and everything we say and do kind of goes to our kids and ourselves. And I'm really interested about that talk about quarantine sex. Now you said that, because I'm like,
Oh,
I got questions too. Like I just had about it. It's like, is that a thing? I didn't even know that was a thing. I was just talking about that earlier today with someone about
yeah.
quarantine, about conjugal visits. We're gonna be calling it conjugal visits during this martial law time.
Right. My kind, you're going to have to do a whole lot of shit just to get the dick or the pussy. That is very true. Very true. Unfortunately. But let's maybe talk about the virus and the shutdowns first, and then let's lead to ways we can stay sane and less anxious
Right.
during this thing here.
Exactly. You got to warm up. Exactly. I agree. So
You
listen.
know what that lube first before we get into it.
Definitely need that. So let's start off with like I guess people's fears and like how this is spread because I actually checked the CDC website and right at the top of the website it says um pretty much like we're telling you our guesses but we don't really know.
Right.
Like that's what it says on the CDC website. Like it's pretty much like we haven't confirmed any of this shit. It's just what we think. And so that's maybe I think the scary part about all of it is
Mm,
like I was just like like is it just getting transmitted by cough? Is it transmitted by touch? Is it transmitted by touching a germy area only? Like
mhm.
so stuff like that they're saying and like oh it's just hand washing. They tell us to wash our hands for everything for the common cold, for the flu, for
Right.
all of that stuff. So washing your hands is just like the first thing. Like if it was like a volcano, it would be like, oh, wash your hands. Make sure the volcanic ash doesn't stay on your hands. Like that's
Right.
just a common thing to tell everybody. You know. So it's like, what are we really able to do? Some of my friends have been passing
Right.
around like little home remedies and things to like beef up your immune system, which I am totally in support of. I think that's really important
Right.
that we should be trying to fortify and get as much vitamin C into our system and all of that kind of stuff as possible.
Come
But
on now,
that's
yeah.
you know,
Which, speaking of which, and I know Nasha, you posted a video in the food group my brother runs the other day, and I've just been, taking pictures and going live randomly, but that baffles me that the aisles you would expect to be completely empty are still full,
Yeah.
and then the aisles you
Yeah.
expect to be full are completely empty. So let's talk about it. Vitamin C and other vitamins and minerals you can use
Yeah.
to strengthen your immune system. Why is it that we can't
Yeah.
find any bottled water, we can't find any milk, but we can find a freezer and fridge stocked full of orange juice? We can't find any bread, but the aisle with the vitamins is still fully stocked. Like, if you're one of those people with a weakened immune system, why are you not focusing on stocking up on things that are going to build your immune system and help you better fight this virus?
Yeah. From what I saw, actually I had a friend of mine who said that they went to Calamasa, and that's not too far from here. So I'm gonna say more of like the wider areas. But all the fruits and the vegetables and the orange juice was gone versus like like the frozen burritos and the stuff that the macaroni and cheese and stuff. Like, and I think it's more survivalist issues. It's it's that fear-based propaganda, plus it's also that poor mentality too. Oh, because I'm poor, this is what I can afford, this is what I need. That's why I was talking about the potato famine. That's built from that. If you guys remember the potato famine, everybody went through that, looking for potatoes and stuff because it was a natural carb that you need, and you couldn't even get access to that. So what we're doing is we're just replaying, basically like old life. We're just replaying all these old, basically everything that basically went through. But we nobody's teaching anymore. It's an immune system thing that it's attacking. It has nothing to do with, what we're currently doing.
Right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right. No, I feel you
It's
there.
just the vegetables, the turmeric, ginger. Yeah, I'm trying to.
Right. That was my
But
first thing.
no,
Lemon
one
ginger
thing.
tea daily religiously. I drink green tea religiously. And then those were my two staples that I had to have. I have Back to Eden, which is a natural healing book, and then another one called The Natural Healing Choice, or The Natural Choice, or something like that, which teaches you, based on whatever ailments or disease you have, how to cure yourself naturally. So I had two staples. I had to get ginger root one. I had to get my ginger root. I found that TVP is another thing, texturized vegetable protein, which looks a lot like ground beef when you reconstitute it, and
Yeah,
you use it in a lot of different
yeah,
dishes and still have your protein content that we haven't gotten yet, but I know where to get it. Just kind of trying only to go out when we absolutely have to. And seems like when we have to go out, we forget to go get it. But we're definitely going to get that at some point. But I feel like we need to stop with all of these news stories and these, oh my God, coronavirus. You know what? People are getting toilet tissue. Go buy toilet tissue now, because when you can't leave your home, how you gonna wipe your ass? But toilet tissue should be the last thing on your list. And I'm sorry to say, I'll be the nasty motherfucker that ain't got no problem cutting up a towel and using them as shit rags and rewashing them bitches in bleach to wipe my ass, so I can make sure that me with a low immune system has the vitamins, minerals, vegetables, and fruits that I need to survive, as well as my 4-year-old who is already asthmatic and survived several things they said he shouldn't have survived at such a young age, to protect our immune system and to build up our immune system, so that way I can know, hey, if like Nasha, my kid's going crazy and I want to take him to the park, I should be okay knowing, okay, you know what? I did X, Y, and Z to make sure you're healthy enough to survive this trip to the park, so you can stop drawing on my walls and beating up your brother and driving the rest of the household crazy.
crazy, exactly. And the thing is that they tell you what's good for your immune system, that boosts your immune system, is direct sunlight. You need to be outside in fresh air. In fact, what did
But
the
you know what?
Alaskans do? They throw their kids. Yeah,
That only works for us melanated folks, though. The sunlight energizes us, it feeds us, it gives us those nutrients and minerals. I'm sorry, I don't want to be the one again to say it, but a lot of these pale skinned people, they got to worry about the sun too.
Well, they have vitamin D drops for one.
Hmm.
That is available. And secondly, one of the things that I saw that was sparse but not empty at the grocery store was canned fruits, which is what we stocked up on. Because my worry is that, oh, now we have all of these fresh fruits and vegetables. That's the only shit that we can eat. Because it's going to go bad before we have a chance to actually eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Well,
my
you can, but I'm gonna say you could just make soups and stews with it and freeze them, and then that way you're still getting the packed nutrients. Like that's what I'm doing tonight. I'm making a pasta primavera that has all the vegetables and nutrients that the kids need to kill viruses and germs. But they're thinking it's a fun spaghetti topped with a little bit of the cheese.
Right.
But like it's gonna go in the freezer what I don't keep, and it excess 2-3 months. I gotta go water road on somebody. At least I know I got some extra food.
Right, right. Very true. And that's what I was going to say with the fruits and vegetables, too. You don't have to worry about them going bad. Chop them, dice them, mince them, whatever you want to do, and put them right in the freezer and then cook them directly. Don't let them defrost and then cook them, but cook them like you just do regular vegetables. Cook them from frozen to, whatever you want them to be.
Yeah.
Is that possibility?
And I hear all of the things that you guys are saying. I totally agree with them. I am not against you on any point. Okay. I'm one of those worst case thinkers.
Got you.
Okay. So, and my mom is a worrier. Okay. Like she worries big time. I will take it, like just say, okay, these are the possibilities and just plan like accordingly. And
Yeah.
she just internalize that whole thing and like let the fear like kind of grow.
Mhm.
So for me, okay, yeah, one of the things she brought up is like, oh, well, what if the power goes out? Okay, like that's a big deal. Like that's why it's so many more canned fruits and canned vegetables and stuff like that. Like that's why that's the mental choice for me.
Yeah.
But like I said, other people have different rationales, and I
Mhm.
hear what you're saying. And as long as the power's on, everything's cool. Like
Right.
we good. Like we gravy. Like ain't no problem at all. But as soon as that becomes an issue, then we have multiplying problems, and that's the thing
Right.
that I try to avoid. I
Yeah.
try.
And that's what my boyfriend and I were speaking about as well when we decided what we would get. I'm the type of person I stock up on canned goods when I go grocery shopping just to have them. Just in case, we're low on food for that month and we gonna have to turn to these canned goods, this tuna, this chicken, these fruits, these veggies, these dry beans that nobody likes, but the bag just sits there, type stuff. So and that was our whole point of getting TVP, because if it does get to the point where there is martial law everywhere, everyone is forced to be quarantined and in their homes and running electricity, there is the possibility that the power will go out for hours, days at a time. That meat that you're buying, that the eggs that you're buying, that milk that you're buying won't last. But these
Yes, I
this
agree.
TVP, and I don't care if you don't have anything else in your home, that TVP will replace the protein of meat that you have that you lost.
Right.
So I think people are thinking about the right now. What do I need right now? If I got stuck in my home, what do I need right now? If we still have power and yada, 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 what do I need? But we don't think about what if this becomes, instead of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it becomes 4 months, 5 months. How well is that electricity going to work if there's no one available to go to those stations and man it? If there's no one out there available to fix those lines, where are you at? Do you have firewood to build a fire in your backyard? Do you have a fireplace in your home to cook fresh, warm meals? And everybody's so, okay, let me go here. Everybody's so up in arms and, oh, we're going to get a stimulus check. 1,000 per adult, 500 per kid. They giving you that stimulus check. But if we're stuck in our homes, what exactly are you going to do with that money if you can't go out and buy anything? Why
Mm-hmm.
are we talking about getting the National Guard in every city, every state, and preparing them to have to pass out MREs to every citizen, bottle water to every citizen. But all we worried about is this goddamn check. Fuck that check. That check ain't gonna help us when this shit really hit the fan.
Couldn't agree more.
Can I piggyback off what you said about you were talking about? Oh no, I said when you're talking about the potato famine from earlier and you're talking about a fire, that's what we need to be educating our kids on, is how we need to work without electricity. And during the bird box phase, I went through a thing where I taught my kids north, east, south, and west just in case and something ever had to come happen where we needed to locate, because our kids are so desensitized to everything that they don't even know about eating fruits and vegetables. So if we were to make them a fruit and vegetable meal, they're going to pick through it because they're so used to all the starches and the sugars. And then we're so codependent on like Netflix and stuff. I don't know if you guys have gotten on Netflix, had an issue with getting on Netflix. It's because it's freezing. The server freezing because too many people are on at the same time. We're going to end up crashing the internet because we have nothing else to do and because we're so busy afraid. You're right. Where's $1,000 going to get us in 2 months? That's like one person's rent check. Like I'm trying to figure out how that works.
They didn't even one person rent check over here. We gonna need 2 of them checks just to pay 1 month's rent, and we only getting it once. So what happens to month 2 and 3?
Right. Yeah. Speaking of all of this, of course, of course, it brings back the conspiracy theorist in me. Of course, it brings back, the need for that go bag. I'm telling you, like, for real. So I think we should definitely talk about some of the things that you should put in your go bag if if it gets to that point. You know what I'm saying? If that things are so bad that like goes super left. And even, you know what? And here's the thing, for people who are immediately like, oh my God, this girl is crazy. A, you're probably right. B, I mean, hey, whatever. But B is that, also, this is the same bag that you should, or ideally would have prepared for if there's a fire in your home, if there's a hurricane, a tornado, if there's, if the zombie apocalypse breaks out, if any of these things happen. By the way, the zombie apocalypse is also listed on the CDC website. I don't know if everybody knows. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, with the popularity of The Walking Dead.
On their website earlier, I'm gonna have to go peruse other than outside of Corona 2020.
Like, yeah, that's a whole thing. So, like, that's also on the CDC website. Like, this is all stuff that we need to, to like actually acknowledge. And even if you don't need it right now, isn't this a great time to go ahead and prepare that bag just in case? Right. Even if you don't need it for 10 years and 10 years pass and you don't even need that bag, guess what's going to happen on 10 year and day one when some shit go down and you could just reach over to your side and grab this shit and go.
You're ready to go. Right.
And you're in the pack and you're safe now because of your thinking ahead. Like,
yeah.
So
that's a big problem with people. We're not forward thinkers. Well, I can't say a lot of us aren't forward thinkers. We think about the now and not the future, the possibility of what could come. So you should always be prepared for the now, as well as some, not all, but some what ifs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and it's really easy stuff that you can like just start with for like a basic bag, okay? And I think that the 4 things, that are most important that you should always, think about is, the basics: fire, air, shelter, water. Like, those are going to be the things.
Those things make up the avatar.
Yeah.
Say that one more time.
You know what? She said those things make up the something. I think the avatar.
I'm so sorry. No, I'm so sorry. Keep going. What you were saying, I was agreeing with you.
I feel you there, but I think something else that we forget to think about that we should be thinking about also is protection. Making sure you are ready to protect yourself. Because if things really, say there's a zombie apocalypse, say there's really martial law in every city and we can't leave, you better believe people are going to get desperate to the point of breaking into homes. If they see somebody walking down the street, they're going to check your pockets. So, and I know a lot of people think I'm crazy, but God damn it, be prepared and make sure your kids are prepared. Make sure they know how to properly handle a gun. Make sure they know how to properly handle a knife. So that way, not only can they use it to get food, but they can also use it to protect themselves as well as their family.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree 110%. Like so, and that's like the honorary like fifth thing that's on that list. You know what I'm saying? Because it's, I mean, it's almost a given. Right?
You would think anyway, right?
Too. So, you never know. But so like, so yeah, so a couple packs of water, you know what I'm saying? A couple of canned foods, you know what I mean? And they last long enough that even if you don't check your bag for a while, like you can go back every, like, however often it is for the expiration date, year, 2 years, whatever, and go back and just swap them out. Like that's no big deal to like throw on your little digital calendar with all your things to do. Like, okay, go grab a couple things from the pantry, toss them in the bag, go about your business. You know.
Right.
So anyway, so you have this water, you've got this canned food. One of the things that you should, the masks. If you have the filtration masks, that's a big deal. Those gloves, to kind of keep yourself from any additional contamination that you might not know about. As far as clothing, you'll want like, or sorry, before I get to clothing, shelter was the other thing that was like, one of those big four for shelter. If you have like a small tent, you know what I mean? Like it would just be a one person, two person tent. You squeeze as many motherfuckers in there as you need to.
And that's body heat too, so you ain't got no heat. Y'all go stay warm.
You know what I'm saying? But you have something to cloak or cover, you know what I'm saying, to cloak or cover yourself because you don't know what kind of weather you're going to be dealing with. You know what I mean? You have no idea what's going to be coming. Yeah, so, weapon of your choice, of course, dealer's choice. But, clothing, like, you'll really want something a little more protective. So, not just, a pair of jeans and like tennis shoes and like a long sleeve shirt. Like, you're going to want, something a little bit thicker, but not so heavy that it's going to weigh you down. Because you need that ability to run with this bag on your back that has all of your essentials. I know that people forget these things all the time. Take like a little photo album or just like, maybe 5 or 6 pictures and tuck those pictures in with you. Because that's something that people forget all the time. And that's, going to be pretty necessary, especially if you start losing people along the way. Like that's a big deal.
And we see through all those survival movies and TV shows, those few that have the picture, that's what usually keeps them holding on, being able to go back to those memories of the way that things used to be and hope that that's how they'll get back to. So yeah, I'm 100% for that. I would just say have multiple bags. If you have 6 people in your home, that's 6 different bags for 6 different things. Okay, bag 1. The heavy bag is going to be carried by my husband. He's going to have all the canned goods and the food and X, Y, and Z. Me, myself, the female, I'm going to have the heavy bag number 2, maybe some candles, some flashlights, matches, whatever, one pot and one pan, whatever you feel you may need for that second bag. And then let the kids maybe be responsible for lighter things, holding everybody's clothes. I wouldn't, don't pack like you're going on a fucking vacation. One outfit per person. One jacket per person. Make sure everybody got a decent pair of shoes. And then there you go. Just have them packed by the door, ready to go.
Hear all of that. My concern is that everybody's bag needs to have all of those things in it.
All the essentials. Gotcha.
Like, yeah, they have to have all of those because what if you guys get separated? Right. Now all of the canned foods are gone. True. And there's no food. you don't want to be in that situation either. So put at least a little bit of everything,
In
what I'm
each
saying?
bag. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's a great idea. Great idea.
Small first aid kits are going to be super important. Antibiotic ointment, your Neosporin and stuff like that. Like that's going to be super important because you're out here in the elements. Again, you don't have any idea what's going to be floating around in the air, what contaminants are going to get into your skin or something like that. That can be deadly. Like we don't know how to deal with 1930s cuts and stuff. Damn,
Right.
1822, you got a cut on your arm and you died. That was it. Like I don't
Right.
know. It's probably not
And
the right
that's
year.
why I feel like maybe that's why the conspiracy theorist in me kind of kicks in a little bit. Like, what if this is just a test of that? Because I know overpopulation is a thing, you know, that's a very big thing. And we only want the strongest in our civilization to really thrive and survive in instances like this. So what if every couple years we have a virus threat or we have some sort of threat just to teach people and try to prepare people for a worse imminent death, if that, a bigger threat, if that makes sense, because elderly people, they don't, they may have the mindset because they've lived through it multiple times, whereas we're just going through it once. But at the same time, we can't expect them to fight for us. We can't expect them to really protect us in a way that someone who is younger is able to do.
Mm-hmm.
If that made any sense at all. Kind of.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
It absolutely does. And the thing is, September 11th was supposed to be a test. That was one of the theories. Test
Right.
like
That emergency broadcast system you hear, but it's a different kind of emergency broadcast.
Do you guys believe the purge is gonna even happen? Do you believe we're gonna have something like the purge really soon? Because they're talking about going to martial law anyway. So do you guys believe? I know it's just a random joke, but we're just sitting here making jokes about it, but we don't even know if this stuff's really gonna happen.
right.
Yeah, and I feel like they say I watched so many movies. There are probably too many movies sometimes. But they say a lot of the stuff that we see on our TV and TV shows and a lot of the things that we see in movies are just preparation for what is to come in our future. So the movies and the TV shows, that's our first warning to get
Yeah.
your shit together and be prepared. So then when we actually go through it in life, it makes it a little bit easier to not only accept but to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a thing, was a pandemic on Netflix, and somebody had said they watched it, and they said, is anybody else watching it? Because it's kind of weird how it seems to relate to what we're dealing with right now. And it doesn't make any sense that, this is something we don't talk about. Like I said, I sent you guys a couple articles because I wanted to show you guys where this is actually going right now, like where people are saying one thing about it, they're saying this is happening because of it, they're saying this is happening because of it. And then on the back of my head, I'm thinking, I mean, OnlyFans they make pretty good money, right? Like, I know I shouldn't be thinking that, but like right now, I'm thinking about economical welfare for my kids. I'm not even,
You know what?
I'm
But
not trying to.
what? Ain't nothing wrong with that because I'm to the same thing. And it's just not my kids, our family as a whole. And that's been my thing. Like, we were starting this catering business off the ground, cookies and
Right.
treats, me getting back in the hair. But this virus has stopped all of that. So my main focus has gone to how am I able to make money and support my family without putting us at risk. And then here come my mama talking about she got a client for face masks. And I'm like, wait, you can just make these things? Oh shit, let me know how. Like, I swear to God, I'm about to make about 20 of them boys
Right.
outside of Walmart,
Right.
handing them out. What?
Yeah, you're definitely a
That's
lot of the
called
business.
thinking outside the box, and that's what you need right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of businesses that are doing like like special shows, like, oh, we're gonna do a quarantine show, we're gonna webcast it to you, and we're gonna, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? So a lot of people
Erica
who are trying to
Badu has a whole concert coming out.
still provide. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
as
Um,
in like Willie Nelson's doing a show tonight. Willie Nelson's doing a whole concert tonight.
wow. Yeah. And I mean, I think on the one hand, I think that's, really awesome and really innovative. Um, but then on the other hand, I heard today on the radio, that some lab in Houston, I think, is trying to produce a at-home coronavirus test. Okay, that
Mm.
is supposed to be selling for $138,
Mm.
and you still have to have your doctor prescribe you the test.
So what's the point? Why not just go to the doctor
Doesn't
and get
cover
that
that.
shit
So
for
what if
free
there's
when
medical?
you can?
Right.
But you know what? But that, hey, everybody wants to monetize. That's why we had preachers out there selling a coronavirus cure that wasn't real, and
And
while we
yeah,
got
capital
police
punishment.
officials putting out fake stories
Yeah.
saying that if you don't turn out, if you do this, if you do methamphetamines, you gonna get coronavirus, turn in your drugs. And I think that is one of the biggest problems, and why, yeah, that's a real headline. Like, I'll send y'all the article, but that's the problem. There's too much fake news out here, to the point
Mm-hmm.
where people can't decipher what's real and what's not. So people aren't
Yeah.
taking it seriously. Yes, you don't have to worry because you're young and you're of perfect health and your friends and whatnot are of perfect health. But what about your grandmother? What about your grandfather? Number one,
Yeah.
those are the people that were worried about getting sick and dying. That's number one. Number two, your ignorance and your actions is the reason why whole cities are shutting down, because you're out here taking it as a joke and a game and still putting yourself and other people at risk, instead of saying, you know what? I don't got to leave my house today. I got everything I need right here. I
Yeah.
can go 2, 3 days before I got to go back to the store and stock up. People like
Yeah.
that are the reason why it is the way it is, because we're too fucking self-centered to consider that there are other people out here. Again, me
Yeah.
myself, I have to worry about getting sick and dying because of my immune system. I got a 4-year-old
Yeah.
out here that got to worry about getting sick and dying because his immune system. So it's not it may not we may not have to take it as seriously as people want to say. Yeah, more people die of heart disease. Yeah, more people die of diabetes and whatever the fuck you want to say may be the case, yes, but this is still a very real thing that people who don't deserve to die an early death have to face and deal with. So it's a
Mm.
problem for me when you taking it as a joke, and I'm sitting up here worried about my 4-year-old son getting sick and dying in 4 precious years of life.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you, and especially when the social distancing, when they're saying about all this that's happening right now. I'm really concerned because it's more than just the toilet paper thing. I'm really concerned about what's going to end up happening as far as like when other supplies run out that we really need. Like for me, I have one in diapers still. He's still potty training, but like I'm seeing a lot of reports that the what was it, the diapers are gone, the wipes are gone,
Yeah.
uh, the formula is gone. So you've got concerned parents kind of panicking over here, and I said the elderly. The elderly, that's a thing that's happening right now too. Like they can't even get access to fresh vegetables or fruits or anything like that. So their immune system are more in trouble than we are. And then that's nothing.
Right.
Why are we not educated? We have all these videos out about survival tactics. Why do we not have videos out talking about ways to help your immune system grow, ways to balance your immune system? Because like I see people on my timeline and they're making food stuff, and I get it. I mean, it's we're inside. We're gonna eat our feelings away. But then there should also be here's a boost system. Here's something you can use to boost your immune system. We're fighting right now, and people are living in this fear right now because they're like, well, we don't want to get sick and we're gonna wash our hands. But if it's a common flu, what do they tell you to eat in a common flu to help you get better? Like there's different stuff. That's the stuff that I'm more concerned about right now is the miseducation things going on right now when it comes to our health and our children.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That is very true. Oh, very, very freaking true. And
Yeah.
I think it's just, I honestly want to say the biggest reason why people consistently put themselves at risk and other people at risk is because they're not as strong minded as they like to make themselves out to be. Because how crazy are you going to go if you quarantined yourself and you have to sit at home all day, every day with your own thoughts? How crazy is it? Just left alone with your own thoughts. You can't even stomach
That
your
should be the time.
own thoughts.
Well, see, that should be the time when you teach heavy meditation, because that's the time that you should be alone with your own thoughts so you can decipher where you need to go. It just gets difficult because people are absolutely definitely afraid to be alone with their thoughts, let alone being let alone with their family.
Yeah.
So now you're stuck in this place with these people. You got to get to know them again. Like what scared me the most is when they cancel all the sports, and I'm like, well, that was a bonding experience gone now. Like I'm really confused. Teaching, to be honest, we should be, I don't know, I'm sorry, I lost the thing. We should be teaching how to plant and how to garden. I've been sharing links like that. I know that other members from this group, they've been sharing ways to make jobs from home. I know Robin's over here, she's making face masks. She's over here taking advantage of this quarantine. I'm proud of you for that. I was joking about like classes on live. Really gonna do that, but I'm just saying we got to make our paper somehow. And at this point, are we going to is it going to be about money in the end? Are we going to realize when this is all over just how capitalistic our society is? Because like you said, $1,000 check, what is that really going to do? Like what? Like I was reading, today was an article that said if you're a single parent family, you're only going to get up to $1,400. If you're married, you're going to get $2,400. And I'm like, there's so much bias to that because I do a lot as a single parent. What do you
And you know what? And I feel like, and see, that's where again the miscommunication comes in, because last I checked, and again the fake news comes in, because last I checked, straight from the president's mouth, 1,000 per adult, 500 per child. But that's
Yeah.
a one-time check. And again, we got 2 adults in this home, 4 children. But that one check per adult covers 1 month of rent. Them 4 checks per child covers 1 month of rent. But they're talking about shutting down the school system here in Texas until the end of the school year. There won't be any school until the end of the school year. So what makes us think that this is just going to be over in April, over in May, when they're not even going to have a full year of school?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I got a whole different question. I got a whole different question. Okay. This $1,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is that supposed to be distributed? What happens to people who owe taxes? What happens to people who, are homeless? People who are, who are convalescing. All of these forgotten about ranks. What happens to all of those people?
Right.
Because I'm certain that if the country, just actually gave every homeless person $1,000.
Them liquor stores gonna be lit the next day.
I was about to say, some of that's gonna go really, really bad, obviously, without any actual financial training and job support and all of those things behind it.
Right.
Okay. But if you had done that for your homeless population, all these empty buildings, give them a place to live,
and that's the thing. Yeah. And that's what I swear to God, I asked my dude that question this morning when I was sitting here watching the briefing from President Trump. That was my question. Right. Like, how do they determine who gets the money? And from what my understanding and what I read is the only people who are going to see that money are the taxpayers, those people who filed a tax return. So if you and your family were on state assistance all year, getting cash, getting food, getting medical, you ain't getting shit but that food and that cash. You're not getting a stimulus check. It's only for those people who have paid taxes through employment. If you ain't file a tax return and either get money back or pay the government money, you ain't getting shit. And people aren't thinking about that. All they hear is check, but they're not looking into the stipulations of what it takes to get that check. Again, it boils down to the game of survival of the fittest. And I don't think it's a coincidence that the states with the biggest, one of the biggest and most prominent populations of Black people now have martial law, now have the National Guard in their systems, because they know once this shit really kick off and these people done wasted their money on toilet tissue and bullshit that ain't really gonna last, they gonna turn to the streets and turn the fuck up.
That's why I said the purge. When do you guys think that's gonna actually start? Wait, I was gonna say something. Have you guys heard the article that ICE has actually? I think I sent you guys the article too. ICE has done a thing now. Now that we're quarantined, they're gonna be knocking into houses so they can go ahead and start deporting people. Let's talk about social distancing for a second, and let's talk about these ICE detention camps that people.
Wait, she probably go backwards.
But like, how does that work?
Keep talking.
No, but like, how does that work though? Like, you're talking about we're gonna go in and we're gonna take these people from their families, but they're gonna put. Have you seen these detention camps? You want to talk about stopping the coronavirus, and look at what the detention camps have inside of them, and look at the amount of people that have to be next to each other. They're not sending them to Mexico anytime soon. Didn't they stop travel? So how does that work? Why would you go in and take people from their families right now? Oh, we have access to it. It's just, it's horrible all the way around. Like, it's a very scary epidemic going on right now. I don't know what to do.
This is just, it's all Trump. That's all it says to me is this is one big ass government move, like all at one time. Like, okay, cool. It's probably not even as serious as we think. They're probably inflating numbers to create fear so that he can, employ, what is it, the Stafford Act, so that he can have, all of these wide-ranging powers that we don't even know about, right? That's like, that's what he said, is that we don't even know the kind of powers that he can get under the Stafford Act. So he wants to employ that so that he can make good on all of his campaign promises. He can get all of these immigrants out of here if they're doing this, it's not even a stop and frisk. It's just a, kidnapping. Like, if he wants to, like, kidnap fucking American citizens to, like, send them across borders, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he wants to hold everyone in their houses so that we don't get to vote, so that he stays in power, all of this shit is just, like, for me, it's just adding up to disgusting acts, and all of that equals Trump. So that's really good here, and that's it is.
I don't know if you guys think it's true. Oh, they're talking about withdrawing the elections for a while, that they're stopping the elections for a while. And I'm like, okay, wait, here's a problem. Putin is trying to be a dictator for 19 years. I think Trump was trying to do the exact same thing. That's not a good thing, you guys. And then I understand, he's going to give us money because that's what they want right now. They want it. Right. I don't know. I saw something about Bernie Sanders dropping out. I'm like, wasn't Bernie Sanders like a candidate? Then you guys want him. Now we're stopping the election. So wait, we never had a voice to begin. Something's not right.
Exactly. And my biggest thing is, if it's gotten to the point where we can't have people go out to vote, why aren't we doing things to at least get some absentee ballots out there? We can vote by mail. If we know Amazon's still running and still hiring employees, the U.S. Postal Service is going to still be running and actively hiring employees, why are we stopping the vote altogether? Get those absentee ballots out to those people who cannot move against their will.
Yeah.
If you're really so worried, 10 people at a time, okay. Have people take numbers. We gonna call the first tenant. Y'all can sit in y'all cars. Y'all gotta sit up here and line up. But make sure you can hear your number when it's called so you can come line up and come in here and vote by the tens and then get your ass back out. That's a
they got
concern for me too. Because if everything shuts down for months like they're saying, how do we vote? How do we get this motherfucker out of office? Number one. Number two, I don't know if y'all saw the news reel of people just praising Trump all of a sudden in office. My thing is, weren't we just trying to impeach him a few weeks ago? Just trying to impeach him.
And that's what I'm saying. Now we're talking about checks.
He's all of a sudden showing great leadership. All of a sudden he cares about his people in his country. But just a few weeks ago, this nigga wasn't shit.
No, that was all part of the plan.
That's what I'm saying. It's all part of it. It's fear-based campaign. Like, it's fear-based. Everything is right.
Yep, facts. I believe I read that the coronavirus has an 80 to 95% rate of people getting better, not dying, of people getting better. So how true are the numbers that we're reading? If people are dying at such a big rate, why did it take a week for Dallas County to double its numbers? And even with its numbers doubling, there was only one person who actually died. But we're about to shut down the whole fucking city. For what?
Yeah.
What? Let's just try to let's just implement stronger things to make sure it doesn't spread that fast. Well, there's no reason to shut down the entire community. Maybe if you want to bring the National Guard and have a police officer at every store to ensure there are no riots, to ensure that when the store people say only 20 people can come in at a time, only 20 people actually go in at a time.
Then we're regulating it, and then we're going to call it FEMA.
Yeah. True.
I mean, it's rules and compromise. That's all that's going on right now. And the problem with it right now is it's just fear-based teaching. We have so many people going out and we're buying things unnecessarily when we should be, like I said before, we should be focusing on immune boosting things, and we should be focused on other stuff. Like, it's not good all the way around. This election's not good all the way around. We have different, like I said, the articles that I sent you, we have all this stuff that's happening right now, and we're too busy. We're also dividing right now. We're not even unifying right now. There's too many things going on with racism as far as Asian people go. Like I told you, I don't know if I told you guys this before, but I sat with an Asian man inside of a sauna when the gym was still open, and he told me that his biggest fear is to allow his son to cough. He said, "Son, do not go to school and cough, because I'm afraid if you cough, they're going to beat you because you're Asian." He's like, "I'm not even Chinese. I'm Korean. This doesn't even make any sense." And I'm like, that hurt, because, like, this is systematic racism, and then we got all this stuff going on, and it's all financial.
Yeah. And Shushu LaRue of my podcast, Aqua Minaj, she shared an article today, and we were actually talking about that very thing of how people are in the White House are calling this thing the Kung flu. But if you do watch videos and you read the articles, you will find that even back in 2017, they were holding whole panels with the CDC and the WHO and different state leaders about the coronavirus, and were saying it started in pigs and was slowly but surely spreading to the farmers. My belief is that people only started dying by the thousands when it got to China last year, December 2019. From what I haven't gotten my hands on a Lysol bottle, but from what people, because all the disinfectant is gone, but from what I've been reading, the Lysol bottle, the disinfectant spray, not the off-brand, the actual Lysol brand, has had coronavirus as something that it kills on contact for all this time. I just unfortunately can't find a bottle of disinfectant spray for my life to confirm this, but this is just what I've heard. Oh, she got one. Look at that.
It's a stranger. But it's a strain of it though, because you have to realize it's also a strain of SARS, H1N1,
It is.
swine flu, everything like that. That's just a strain of it. And so I think it's one of the hardest strains that's been produced.
Been produced.
I should
Yeah,
use
they
that
said
word.
that though when you get to the point of a respiratory infection, that is SARS. What is it? SARS-CoV-2. So it's SARS
Yeah,
part 2.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just gone unchecked and no one did anything for me and my conspiracy theorist in me. It's gone unchecked and no one took it seriously enough or did anything about it until it mutated and started killing people. Before it was, oh, it's just coronavirus, people getting sick, whatever, we not deal with that. And then they mutated. And then now it's this whole big old blown out pandemic. But why?
It's a pandemic created off of fear. I told you it's a lot of out of fear. Oh, she brought the Lysol bottle. Wait, hold on. Let me go show this audience. She done brought the whole Lysol bottle. Like, we gonna prove you. I'll send you to get my charger. But no, it's the absolute truth. I mean, it's just a strain of coronavirus. It's more of a human flu. I mean, there's a lot of research I need to be able to do on it more, but
Can I
didn't have a
can I
chart.
get dirty with y'all for just like 2.5 seconds? Because this was a
Are we
thought.
talking about
But this has been a thought. My thing is,
Are we on
if
that
it
topic?
started in pigs and got to us humans, who was fucking the pig to get coronavirus? Okay, that's my only little off the wall.
You know what? It was the people who did the Black
No,
Mirror
don't
series.
even let her repeat them.
Oh, the Black Mirror, right?
They're the ones who started it to make the dystopian universe come true. Okay?
Probably right. You're probably right.
That's how that
But I've had that thought for about like for the longest. Like if it started in animals, which one of y'all nasty motherfuckers was fucking the animal? Because I'm sorry, we know bestiality is a thing. People out here fucking animals. I'm sorry, that was the first place my mind went to.
Wow.
I thought it was out of bat soup. Now we talking about doing pigs. I thought it was bat soup.
Virus.
They said.
Isn't it?
You
Okay,
say what, Ray?
the human
It's
coronavirus. But
coronavirus.
then there's different forms of it's COVID-19. So what strain is like? I mean, there's so many different things to go
I
along with
don't know if
that.
I probably didn't share it with you guys. I shared it with Awkward Menage, but I'm gonna send you guys that video. My boyfriend's aunt sent it to him, and I'm like, oh shit, oh this is 2017, and they talk about this pandemic. Like, so I'm gonna send you guys that video.
Well, okay, so like I told you, since she was talking about getting freaky anyway, I've been thinking about this quarantine sex, the entire sex.
Okay.
So we've talked about things. And listen, I just, it's 2020. The coronavirus is happening. Quarantine is real. I think it's time for the GIMP suit, you guys. Um, do you know what that is? The GIMP suit? No? Oh, this is fun. Okay. So, and they come in, I mean, really leather is like generally the way it comes, okay? But you can also like they have fun ones now that are in like spandexy kind of fabrics. But basically it covers you head to toe, like literally head to toe. The leather ones sometimes come with a zipper up the front. Depends on your style. You can choose the style of face in that suit. You might
Okay.
have just the face and mouth open, might have your genitals exposed, your front ones. Usually your back ones are covered. Just FYI. But I feel like something like that with like almost 100% covering is the way to go for the quarantine. I mean, because how could you not?
I feel like that's only if you're doing hookups. You don't have the
Oh, we're
same
talking about my cousin.
stable partner, then yes. And please don't let me see y'all making quarantine porn in a motherfucking gift store either. That shit I told y'all.
Why did I
You know what? That is terrible. Every person who is an at-home
That's where
porn
that
star
OnlyFans thing comes out of.
porn right now. You should definitely have a full face mask on, and like the face mask goes down to your.
Oh my god.
They got special dental dams just for that now.
Oh shit.
Now, I'm not sure what I'm saying that we should be. It's 2020. It's quarantine time. We should be doing the GIMP suits, right? Like a full head
the
covering,
hazmat suits.
eye out, mouth out, genitals out. That's it.
That's
Everything
it.
else.
That's it.
No, your
Not
genitals
even the mouth.
out. Shit, you need like put in that the dental dam. Put on.
Come all the way up the face, the whole zipper. You ain't
Right.
got to.
So we talked about this as we corona babies being born during this shut-in. I'm trying to figure that out. Like,
The condoms are still on the shelves. That's why everybody went and got condoms. Ain't nobody thinking
Everybody
about
took the paper, right? Nobody got the
time.
money. We gonna have a booty call segment where we got somebody trying to wrap around their dick and keep it protected.
Wouldn't that hurt? Wouldn't that hurt the woman?
Let's let everybody know right now. Saran
Wouldn't that
wrap will
booty
not protect from pregnancy. Just FYI, just in case you was thinking about it like a last ditch effort, it's not gonna help. Okay, it will not protect you from STIs. It won't do anything to give y'all both a bad rash. Okay, like some like like plastic burn. I imagine. I don't know, but like it's not. Okay.
So on top of what she said,
So, like sexy stuff. Like remember the OnlyFans? We do hazmat suits. And then, like we take them off like with some.
You know what? I suggested to my guy that we go to the smoke shop and buy them the gas mask where you got the long ass pipe. I'm like, why can't we just front take the end? But something like that might work. But I feel like that only really would help single people who are possibly just fucking just for a fuck. Like, how does the GIMP suit help those of us who are in a relationship, who are married, and who might not have to, we see the same person and we fucking with the same person day in, day out? What are our rules when it comes to coronavirus sex?
Well, I don't think that's any different. I don't think that's any different at all. First of all, a GIMP suit will spice up any relationship.
We're talking about coronavirus. Like she already got the Rona. It's fine. She just needs a little good love. They said sex is good for boosting the immune system, so we're actually just doing ourselves a favor.
It is. And it helps you burn calories like crazy.
So you're not losing exercise time either. It's perfect. Yeah, you're yourself.
That's right.
And then you're gonna be stuck with your family and your person. You might as well be trying to get it in, trying to little conjugal visits every once in a while type of thing.
Right. Try to relieve that stress and anxiety in some way. And that's my biggest thing. I know with people, especially when you we took the first 4 days in stride, and now it seemed like everybody in the house just like down each other's throat. And yeah, you might be mad. Some words might be, exchanged or whatever the case may be. But I'm just going to say, don't be too mad to get your nut in. Don't be, because that's going to help alleviate all your stress, okay? Yeah, you got to wake up to that motherfucker tomorrow. But you know what? Pop one off the night before and see if you don't wake up the next day in a different fucking attitude.
We can start the day fresh now. I like you again. I mean, we can do this.
It's absolutely true. And you know what? I agree. It is a part of great exercise. Okay, riding is going to build up those thigh muscles. You're going to need that for running if the apocalypse does break.
Right. When them zombies come for your ass,
right.
Strong ass, making a stallion knees.
Because you have
training
riding before. You have plenty of time to perfect your technique, girl. What are you doing?
Flexors.
Gotcha.
Spell a couple letters. Shit, try your name out. Like
that's what coconut comes into. That's when they talk about all these corona babies. You better stop giving all our viewers a bunch of babies. That's
no protection. You put the
that's why you need to go get the those should be off the shelf right now. Like, we have to go into quarantine. You can't go nowhere. Psh, let me go get a couple boxes and one steady partner.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. You should already have one steady partner. But if it's down to coronavirus,
I'm not
stop
saying it like
fucking randos. You don't know who got it.
that.
You don't know who got it. You don't.
Which is why it's really important to delouse, when you come in the house, okay? Delouse when you enter the house, okay? That's really important. All right. As soon
I
as
was
you
just
come,
talking
I don't
the
know
other
where
day
you've
about
been.
that.
Doing this delousing powder. Let me put a couple of squirts of this shit on you. Spray you with some Lysol.
Let me
Like,
tell y'all this funny story. Me, my daughter, and my dude, and I think I made it my Facebook picture the last time we went out. We had all these little face masks. We made homemade face masks because we couldn't find face masks, and we wore our little regular winter gloves because we couldn't find any gloves. But that's what I told my son, right? I was like, okay, we're about to go. We gotta go to Walmart and stock up on a few things. When we come back, make sure you spray us head to toe with disinfectant as soon as we walk in the door. Like one by one, spray us down. But this little dude, he thought the carpet cleaning spray
No.
disinfectant spray. So he sprayed my daughter down and she wasn't paying attention, got it in her eye. It was
oh,
so freaking funny. So I'm all for that, but make sure you get the Oh, it was so funny. That was hilarious.
my God.
Oh, that was so funny.
You guys ever seen This is a really bad reference. You seen SpongeBob? Like when you got to go through like Sandy's little thing, you have to go through like the delousing thing before you can even go inside.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what we gotta
yeah.
have now. Yeah, like now you gotta put your armpits. Me and my homegirl was talking about for deliveries for anything, whether it's dick or anything else. They gotta be coming to the window and they gotta do their thing through the window and then they gotta go home.
I wasn't
It was
opposed
like just put it
to.
through the window and go.
And I don't know who talked some sense into me, but I wasn't opposed to as soon as you walk through that door, you strip and put your shit in that black bag, and that black bag going right into the washer. But kids and private parts and all that, we had to stray away from that.
Was it that
I was,
putting
I
it
was
on
on that tip, like none of this shit coming in the house. Period.
Is anybody else afraid to cough lately? Because you'd be like, oh my God. Anybody else, or is that just me?
Let me tell you, it's been hard. It's been hard. My guy, he has allergies, and so he's been coughing and sneezing. Has got the congestion, and I won't lie, I've been freaking out. And he like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna go to the hospital. I'm like, no,
No, you
don't
not.
go to the hospital. That's where you go get sick at. But urgent care, that's cool. But don't go to the hospital. No, you're gonna bring it to all of us. But he just keep, oh, I got allergies. And I'm like, you know what? You might be right, because I remember a couple months ago when it was allergy season. But the day and times is so chaotic, like coronavirus. First thing you think of.
People now.
Our local news put out a like one of those graphics. I have to try to find it. But they put out a graphic that had like coronavirus symptoms versus flu symptoms versus cold symptoms versus like allergy symptoms, and how you could tell them all apart because everything is kind of happening all at this one time. So I'll have to find that and post that for us and for
And see, my biggest thing with him was with any of us with allergies, it's all cough, runny nose, sneezing. It's all nausea, pretty much the same thing. I think the biggest thing that will tell us though is if we need to go get tested or go seek medical attention is that fever. If you you wake up one morning and you got the chills and you have a fever, go take your ass and get some medical attention, because that fever is telling you that there is some sort of bacteria in your system we can't fight off on our own. That's why you got the fever, because your body can't handle it. Your immune system isn't strong enough to fight off all these other symptoms. So now you've got a fever. That fever is number one. You can cough, you can sneeze, you can have a runny nose all you want. But if you get a fever, take your ass out and get tested. It's cool. We saw you smoking.
Oh my gosh, she over here like really dramatic about it. So I was like, wait, are you okay?
I'm so hot.
I was like, wait. Wait. I can't with you. Don't be dying on camera. She's so stupid.
Wait, but why? I wanted to do a social experiment for a while, and my dude won't let me do it. But I wanted to go into a random Walmart with a face mask and just start coughing to see people's reactions.
With the
Don't
I
do that.
was
yeah.
I was walking. Wait, no, I was in Walmart one day and I was walking really fast. I was going live on my phone. And I took a sip of a Coke and I started coughing. And this guy looked at me like I had the fucking plague. And I'm like, no, my Sprite just went down the wrong tube. I've been wanting to do that ever since. Like he looked at me with so much shock and like, oh, let me get the fuck away from her. I'm like, no, I'm not sick, chill.
Oh yeah, they might let you walk out the store for free. Like
Right.
I know he just take everything. Like, well, you know what? That might be a
Take
good
what you get
experiment.
the fuck out.
A big ass TV in your car and be no, I'm playing. Look, my son sneezed the other day and then he wanted to climb on me and I was like, I don't know. We don't know each other like that.
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
that's
And you know
social
what?
distancing, son. I gotta teach you that.
And see, that's the problem. People are taking it. It's either people are either taking it too far or they're not taking it seriously enough. And I feel like social distance doesn't mean you can't go out at all. It just means pick and choose if this is something you really have to do or not. Because realize you going out is not only putting yourself at risk, and even if even if you get the coronavirus, you're going to survive, other people may not. So keep that into consideration when you're choosing to go out or not, because your actions may just fuck it up for the rest of us and have us on lockdown, quarantine, and under martial law when it's
Y'all
not
see the kids
necessary.
over in Florida? Y'all see them kids over in Florida right now? And
Yeah,
the spring
right.
break thing? Why don't they close the beach down? We're over here complaining and making videos and stuff. Why are you out there able to make videos anyway? Go out there. First of all,
My
they close beaches down
question
when there's
is,
shark attacks.
what
When there's
happened?
shark attacks, they close those beaches down.
right.
Just saying.
But my question is, if we are so scared of the coronavirus to the point of people having to self quarantine, why are people still taking flights? Why are flights from fucking Europe still coming to the States? Why are
I
whole
thought that was
ships
a
full
ban
of
for 30
sick
days.
people still allowed
Yeah.
to dock on our ports in our United States border? So I posted it on Facebook. I'll say it again. Donald Trump is worried about the wrong fucking borders. We worried about keeping motherfucking Mexicans out, but we still got motherfuckers taking trips from Europe, from fucking China. We still telling these people, bring your ass home now before it's too late. No, it should have been too late a week ago.
Bro, stay over there. Stay over there and get the treatment where you need over there. If it's global, why not just keep it in one sector and every place until it's basically over. And what I heard in China, it's almost over. So if you're in China, stay in China, go get your treatments. And if it's over there, stay over there until it's clear back over here.
Stay over here.
That's working
What I'm
together.
saying. Don't keep bringing it here. Did y'all see how fast fucking Canada shut down its borders? But we still letting
You
flights.
can't even get it.
I mean,
We only suspended flights for military personnel. Them the only motherfuckers that can't get on a plane, but the rest of us can. How's that
That don't
make
make
sense?
any sense. People still going on cruises and stuff. I'm like, why do we still have cruises?
like as far as kind of just saying like to stay there, I don't think that everybody has like that kind of money, I guess. Like, I mean, because if I'm from another country, I certainly don't give a shit if you're stuck here and from another country, right? Like, I'm not worrying about like, oh, let's take care of this American until they get home. Most people hate us in other countries.
Hell yeah,
So
they do.
we're gonna saddle this American with this person from like who knows how they'll be treated, who anything. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like it's better to get them home and get them treated straight off the plane, as in can get here to the country, but your ass can't go
But
home
they
until
brought people here.
Yeah, that's what they were doing. They were
They were. But then
laying
eventually after a
people
while,
at the
quarantine.
airport until they got quarantined. But my question
Yeah.
is, if you got the money to have a whole family at home and you taking your mistress to fucking Italy, you got money to be overseas studying at some college abroad, and you can book a last minute flight and pay however many thousands of dollars to get home, how hard is it? Is it really going to be for you to stay there? The only concern I can see is if you already know you have it and you are worried about your quality of life in that foreign country versus coming home to the overburdened healthcare system right now in the United States of America, then yeah, that I can understand. But you just wanting to get out just to get out because you scared. Why? Because most of those countries, China, who's been hit, Italy, who's been hit, they've gone through so much drastic measures that it's no longer that big of an issue. Nobody else has gotten sick as far as I've read. Now, that could be fake news because there's a lot of that going around, but it's not. You're just putting more and more people here at risk. When you're saying the healthcare system is overburdened to the point that we got to send whole naval ships full of hospital beds to New York and California, why are you letting more sick people in if we can't even handle the sick people that are here now?
Mm-hmm.
That's my only
because
question.
Our finances, what was it? Italy was the first one to suspend mortgages, and then we all just kind of went along with it. Like, oh, they did it. Well, we should have already done that. They've known this since December and January. This is stuff that should have already been prepared. We weren't fully prepared for this at all. We didn't even, I can't really explain it, but we weren't even prepared for this. Like, we're not prepared financially for this. We weren't prepared mentally for this. We weren't prepared, what was it, health-wise for this. Like, people are still going out to eat at restaurants, and then like the news, and they're portraying things in the wrong way. Like, they just did this thing where they told a mother and her 2 sons got killed at the restaurant, or they were killed because they went out to a family dinner or whatever, and it made you scared because they got the COVID. And then you find out it's not her kids. She was 73 and her adult children were at the dinner. And so then you're freaking out because the one thing that we don't want to see is our children getting this virus. And then, like, the numbers don't make sense. The numbers are all over the place. They keep saying the people that are, like, right now in my county, San Bernardino County, there are like maybe 5 cases, but they won't tell us where. And then they tell us where, and then it's not even the right number. And then I'm like, wait, you just said 5, now it's 2. Now you're saying it's 2, now it's 1.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense because you're emotionally.
It's the way they do with war reporting for soldiers, for deaths, like death tolls during the war. Like, oh, well, we're getting it as the information is coming in. So we heard somebody in the back room say 500, so we told you guys 500, but we actually heard now that it's 300, and we've got paperwork that shows it was 150 now, and that, like, that's just another part of the scare tactic. Like, because when you know information and when information is constantly moving, so is your mind.
Right.
So,
yeah, and that's my biggest thing too. Like, even with reading the news in Texas and Dallas County, like, all they've been able to say is Dallas County. They can't give us a specific city, but they can just say Dallas County. And then all of a sudden today, oh, somebody in Richardson, Texas is sick, which is Dallas County and which is very close to home for us. But up until today, it's only been Dallas County. We can't know where. Is it Dallas? Is it Mesquite? Dallas County is big as fuck. So where exactly in Dallas County is this going down at?
Yeah.
They don't tell us. Have you guys read the book? And then I think we should probably do final thoughts after this one. But have you guys read the book 1984?
Yeah, the George Orwell novel. I haven't fully read it, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Do you remember what happened? There was constant war, constant famine, constant health issues that the people had to be wary of, but no one actually saw what was going on. It was all media. It was all Big Brother pushing this agenda of constant war, but we only hear the war. We don't see it. We only see what we see on the news, but we don't actually live it. So I've always felt like for a while, our society was going to become like 1984 mixed with the movie Idiocracy, and then boom, here's our future.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Don't Donald Trump remind y'all
Don't
the
let me
president
get
of my
started on no. Don't let me get started on no idiocracy though. We
do
gotta save that for a whole new day for some idiocracy though, because I could go in on that one.
So Nasha,
Ooh.
you start us off with the final thoughts.
Okay.
Evening.
From what I know now, we don't use saran wrap for sex during this. So we wrap your willy, don't be silly, don't catch the Rona. No. So my final thing is that we need to be more educated. We need to have more education. We need to be more, I mean, it's fear that's creating this social distancing, which I'm kind of concerned about because, all we have right now is the internet to connect us to one another because we're not even near each other. I mean, I'm glad that we have these conversations, but this needs to get out a lot more. We need to stop. We need to have real fact-based things. Like, I'm willing to do it if you guys are. Let's go out and get the actual information, go get the actual numbers and start posting and teaching. We need to teach. This internet should be used as a vessel to teach us to stay healthy and safe. And also, one thing I want to put out there, and then I'll move on to, the next person. Fear is the biggest thing that messes with your immune system. And if you live in fear every single day and every single night, you're going to eventually get sick one way or another. And so, just remember that next time that's something I'm putting myself through, but I'm more educating myself so I don't freak myself out as much as I need to be. But, but go on. Sorry.
Yeah, and yeah, like you said, fear causes stress, and stress causes a weakened immune system. Anytime, because I have anxiety, I won't lie, and anytime it gets too bad to the point where I'm just a complete and total crazy bitch, I listen to The Power of Concentration. And one of the things that was said on that book was just a story about how this guy, he was cut, and he didn't even know he was cut, but he was cut very small and he wasn't bleeding. But they made him believe that he was bleeding and he was going to die from the bleeding. So the man, he had a little small paper cut. But by the time it was morning, he was dead because he scared himself and stressed himself out so much that he actually died from something that wasn't going to kill him. So you have to find a way to strengthen your mind, strengthen your willpower, do whatever you have to do to stay sane, because the isolation, the quarantine, the being alone is going to affect you much faster than the coronavirus will. That's number one. Number two is, even if you don't have to worry about the coronavirus, think about your grandmother, your grandfather, your great aunts, great uncles. Think about small children like my 4-year-old who already have asthma and a weakened immune system. People like me who are in their 30s and should have no reason to die, but always also, have that weakened immune system and are at risk. So be considerate of other people when you go shopping. Be considerate of other people when you think you just want to go out and party and have a good time and do some pranks. Consider that even though you're healthy and you don't catch it, won't be the end of the world for you. Think about how it could potentially be the end of the world for someone else, and just chill. Shit, if you know you and your homies ain't got to worry, y'all don't got to go out to the streets. Have them come over to your house. Have a party.
Right.
Hard.
Like a social distancing party.
Right.
Social distancing kickback.
Oh, right. And sorry, Ray. Just my last final thought. If you ain't got nothing else to do and you got a man or a woman at home, why not try having fun? Getting in tune with your affectionate side, something I'm still working on myself. Have sex, have fun, laugh, cuddle, watch that series that you've been dying to watch. Just find a reason to build that relationship instead of distancing it like the rest of society. There you go. That's me. I'm out.
Hey, I'm sorry, Ray. Can I say one thing? And for the single people, Netflix and chill by yourself is the thing. Netflix and chill by yourself is the thing. Just saying, when you're single, I don't have it like y'all.
Right.
So,
Take the time to work on you. Boo.
okay, go. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Final thoughts. Wow. I guess the biggest thoughts of all. We'll do five and we'll do them fast. Number one, okay, make yourself a go bag with all of the essentials. Now is the time to do it, okay? We've talked about some of the things that you should include earlier in this episode. So, just rewind a little bit and kind of go through those again. Like I said, I don't want to make this final thought super long, but definitely make that go bag. For two, definitely, we're talking about social distancing. Distance yourself from the media a little bit. Stop watching so much damn news. Like, calm down, chill out, and get some like mental peace. For three, as Nibor was saying, kind of not just for your relationship, but for yourself. Like, find this time to get back into some of your hobbies, pick up some of those things that you like to do. I picked up a puzzle like the other day. I haven't done a puzzle in ages, and they're so much fun. And I forgot how much of a nice time it is just to kind of let my mind drift for a while I'm putting the pieces together. And for four, don't let this be, the end to your business. A lot of people let this kind of time, when they're just down, like, just be time to be chill and be off and not be doing anything. So don't do that at all. Like, make maybe just one thing a day that you do for your business to improve your business or to bring people into the fold with you, even while we're kind of going through this COVID business, because that's going to keep you ahead of the pack. And it's also going to enable you to kind of come out swinging once all this mess is over. And my fifth and final thought, of course, relates to, our little fun side topic of quarantine sex. Of course, not only is that GIMP suit super awesome, I'm really suggesting, like, let Amazon drone it to your house. Thank me later. Okay. This is a good time to, to try role play. This is a good time to, again, use condoms, water-based lubricants. Do not use saran wrap. Do not use oil. Okay? Do not
Please don't use
you
the
say
oil. Oh my God.
use replacements. Like, people just try and pick up anything. Like, do not use petroleum jelly. Like, these are not good things to use, so don't do it. The stores are still open. They are fully stocked. Nobody ran to get condoms or lube. So go pick them up. Okay. But
Put a
other than
mask
that,
on.
I am certain that we are extra out of time. So
Yeah.
thank you for tuning in with us. Those of you that are on the live tonight, for those of you who are watching this later, thank you so much for joining us and watching the playback. We appreciate you guys. Definitely check out Paper Doll Houses with Nasha-na. Check out the wonderful Opera Menage podcast as well with Nibor. And for me, I'm a traveling poet, so I've got a little bit of everything going on everywhere. But most importantly, I've got a book that's coming out this month. So that is awesome as well.
Amazon.
Exposure Diva.
Go buy her
Oh,
book on Amazon.
yes,
And then
on
follow her
Amazon.
on social media, okay, so you can get some of that good business sense that I unfortunately somehow miss every single day. Okay.
It's okay, guys. We'll post replay links and links to all
Hey,
of our
one more thing.
that below as well.
Martial law is in effect right now.
One more time.
You say what?
I just got a message that says martial law is in effect out where I live.
Oh wow, really?
You.
Yeah. I'm in California. I'm in San Bernardino County. So I just got a text right now. So I'm about to go
Where's your dad?
read up on that right now.
Okay. Wow. Well, join us on the next episode of Conversations with a Goddess, guys. It looks like we've got lots to discuss in the meantime, between time. So yeah, y'all try and have a good night and a little mental peace, and we'll see you guys later.
Please do. And also I did just one last thought, and you can end the recording. I'm actually gonna end the live stream too. But I also thought maybe there's a way that we can maybe go live with some of this information, maybe daily, every other day, every 3-day basis of just maybe going more in depth on what's needed to do a survival kit or to really survive when the shit really hits the fan. I don't know, something just give people more than what they're obviously getting from the news and the media. But we can talk about that more in the stream. Nasha, hit me up if you are worried or you need somebody to vent to or you just whatever. Just call me because
I'm waiting for. I'm looking it up right now. I'm trying to see. Like she says that, and I'm like, oh shit, wait. I'm over here thinking about the dick I'm about to not get. Okay, so.
It's Thursday your day. It's Thursday date night. Because you always
it's cool. It's cool. I just was sad because I can't get no dick now.
Oh shit.
Dick
is very stealthy. No.
Remember, he slaps his ass when you get him in there. Cover everything except his mouth and his lip, and you'll be fine.
That's perfect. I'm gonna call that now. Tell him. I'm gonna have to think about early release for Southern California jails. Okay.
Wait, you say what?
Early release for Southern California jails.